there, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we have got a Christmas card. Now I know we have already done a stencil, layering stencil one this year, but I found this. I've been looking for it for ages and I found it, and I thought, well, I may as well video it and you can watch it anyway. So that's what we are doing, so hopefully you will enjoy. It's, I think, going to be fitting nicely on this 6x6 card. We've got 4 layers, so let us get started. So I'm going to line up, so it's lining with that, so we want it central. Let's stick this one down at the top here, and then I'm going to get my pencil and just mark the circles here out. So we have got rose quartz. So with my old new, a lot of them I've got the little pads on the bottom, and basically I just put a little Velcro dot in there, and then I can just put these in underneath. So just making sure there's plenty of ink on here. It's quite, oh, there we go, that's a bit better. And again, like before, I'm just doing a little bit of, you can see it's sort of darker in some areas than others. I think that always looks rather nice, personally. I rather like that. I'm not doing any particular kind of, oh, I must do that bit darker because that's, you know, shadow or whatever. I'm just doing it as I happen to put it down on the ink on the page, I guess. Yeah, it's on the card itself. I'm going directly onto the card as I did before. I'm just holding this because it is quite, there's some quite big gaps in this one, and I think that it would be handy to just hold it down to make sure that we, and because of that also, like little bits like this, I don't know if you can see it there, there's sort of little flappy bits. Make sure you go downwards because you'll go underneath it otherwise, and then you'll lose that shape. And then obviously when you come down on these bottom edges, you just want to be careful that you're not going to then go up onto that one. Let's really get some ink on this now. That's better. Put a bit more on here as well. It's just, as I'm going round, it's just lightening and lightening all the time. So I think that's fine. We don't want to go so mad with it. I think I'm going to have to get some different tape because that is just absolute rubbish. It's not holding it down at all. I'm just going to lift this one up actually. Oh, that looks so nice as well, doesn't it? So we're going to go over that tape just to, in case, because this is really sticky, but at least it will hopefully hold it down a bit better. So just making sure it's the right way round by checking the number on the top there. You can just see that. So then you know it's the right way round because you can read the number. And then we line the little dots up, make sure it's straight at the bottom. And I'm thinking that's meant to line up with, there's like a bit here that looks like it's meant to go over some of these leaves. So I'm just making sure they're lining up because they weren't. So I think that needed to just adjust a little bit. There we go. And then the next colour we want is coral berries. So I'm just going to take that very carefully over those areas, because we don't want that to be like so dark compared to the other part. But it's a nice combination, this one, with it, I think. And I just wanted to do something different, you know, colour-wise, so I thought this would be fun, doing it kind of pinkies. So we've got some leaves that are just leaves on their own, like this one here, these last few that I've done. Okay, I think that's good enough. So let's put the lid on here. So there we go. So you can see here how the pink kind of layers up on here. So what we could do if we wanted to is get layer 1 again, put that back over like so. Because I've done such a pale colour, I'm just thinking that it would look kind of nice just to take this just on these ones where it's got the blended colours, and we can just go over the top. Let's make sure we've got plenty of ink. And then just go over that a little bit. And on here as well. And that'll just soften that down a little bit, I think. It's sometimes a bit hard to see what's what. So you can see here, it's just softening that down a little bit. And I think that's just helping it sort of just look a little bit more blended. Okay, now let's lift that one up. Now you don't need to go back and do that, but I think that's just made it just look a little bit more sort of in keeping and not so sharp and harsh. So then we have layer 3, which is our little berries. So we just want to make sure that's all lined up. That looks good. Just being very careful because my hands might be a bit inky. And layer 3 is ruby red. Whoops. Grab that. Put that on our little thingy. What's it? So it's still within the tones of the pink, but it's just a little bit stronger. And I'm not trying to shade these because it's almost impossible with these berries to kind of do some a bit darker than the others. It's just going to be, it is what it is. I think that's pretty good. So let's pull this one up. Oh, that's coming out really nice. I like that. I'm pleased with that so far. And get the last one. Where's those? There they are. Couldn't find the little circles. So that goes in the center of that little branch, and so there as well. So we just want to make sure that it is lined up. So we want the circles to be correct, but we also want to make sure, more importantly really, is that the little lines are in the right place as well, because they are actually going to be in the middle of those little leaf bits. So this is going to be evening grey. Oops, I didn't take that off. Let's do that first and pop that on. And then I'm just going to start light because I'm not sure how this is going to look. So I think we'll just do not too strong. So let's just put that in there for a minute and just lift this up carefully. Actually, yeah, I think that's enough. I don't think it needs any more, and I think that colour works. I think if we'd have used another pink, that would have been too much. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Before we take the tape off, is I will erase those little dots, little circles. Oh, and I have to stamp my sentiment as well. So we need to take that off. I'm thinking the grey colour might look quite nice, but I don't know. Now these, that Merry Christmas would look great in there actually, wouldn't it? Let's try it. Let's just hope it doesn't go horribly wrong. But at least with the stamp platform, we have got a chance of putting it right. I think the grey colour I remembered as well is that it worked better when I just... It had like a little surface on it. Some of these cheaper ones do, so it's worth... So I think we'll probably have to do more than one go with this to get the depth of colour, but I want the right tone, so I'd rather do a couple of goes of it. I'm just going to give it a good press as well. Normally I don't give it too much of a press with the platform, but I think it's a bigger stamp and it will just help the ink absorb. Yeah, we got a bit missing at the bottom there. Let's push that down. That's better. Actually, that's not too bad. I think I will do one more go of it just to... But it didn't come out bad. I like the colour. You could have done the pink, but there's already so much pink that I felt like it needed that contrast, but... There we go, that's a bit better look. It's just a little bit stronger. So I think that's good. I'm pleased with that. Okay, so there it is. I just cut it down a tiny bit because I had just got it a little bit too high. So I cut it down to about 5 3/4, and actually it was possible to cut just a small amount off each side as well, so it's now 5 3/4 square, which is fine. It will be perfectly good in a 6x6 envelope and it still looks really good, so I don't think you'd notice that I'd had a little chop off the bottom or anything. So I think that came out really well. I'm really pleased with the colours. I think that looks really pretty, and I hope you do too. So thank you so much for watching. I know it was another stencil one, but I hope you don't mind, and I hope you like the finished card. As always, if you do, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. And also don't forget that there is a link to the blog post that corresponds with this video where you'll find lots of photos and stuff as well. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.